Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm Michelle.
I'm Jim, and we are
A Teague of Your Own. Welcome to another Motivational Monday.
It's Christmas. I don't know that we're really getting motivated this week.
How can you not be motivated on Christmas Day?
Well, you're motivated for Christmas, but I don't think people are going to be motivated for, business. They're all off this week.
That's what we're talking about.
They're being off this week.
And what do you say?
Merry Christmas.
Let's get motivated.
Oh.
Woo! Yay! It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
But they're off this week. Most of them.
And you think only people who work watch us?
No, I didn't say that.
Obviously.
I'm just not sure that, this is a week where you go, woo, let's get motivated. Motivated to,
That's
you got
what
a week
we're
off.
talking about.
Okay, well, go ahead. Talk about it then.
All right. So it's Christmas Day. Very different than last year. Do you remember last year at Christmas?
No.
I don't even think it made it to like 12 degrees last year for Christmas.
Oh, cold. Okay.
It was very cold. We had come home early from Florida.
Oh, that I remember. Yes.
Yeah. Because it was miserably cold,
Right.
And he was afraid the pipes would
freeze.
freeze.
The pipe's going to freeze because we did not freeze proof everything, and nothing was dripping or anything else, and yeah.
So.
And I think if we hadn't, we'd have had a mess on our hands.
Yeah. So that would not have been a Merry Christmas last year. This year, beautiful day in southwestern Pennsylvania. I believe it's going to get up to over 60 degrees.
Yeah.
It's sunny out. For all the kids out there that got new outdoor kinds of toys like bikes and
stuff. Yeah.
And skateboards and stuff like that, you're going to have a great day.
Yeah. Now, if you got a ski board, snowboard, or some ice skates,
not so great.
Yeah, you little hosed,
Yeah.
But that's okay.
That's all right. It's coming. So great day. Merry Christmas, everyone. We want to talk a little bit about Christmases past, some of our favorite memories, and we also want to talk about what to do this week. Because like you said, most people, they're do a whole lot.
They're not working this week, most people.
So what do you do?
Yeah.
Especially if you are working, what do you do? So what's one of your, because I know what, I think I know what this is. What's one of your favorite Christmas memories?
All of my favorite Christmas memories are in Hawaii.
Okay, and explain to everybody why.
Because it was weather like this, only quite often warmer.
Mm-hmm.
And so Christmas, once we got our toys, we were outside where we spent most of the time anyway.
Yeah.
And those were my first memories. We lived there. My father was in the Army. We were there for 3 years. And I do have a few spotty memories prior to moving to Hawaii, but for the most part, my real early childhood memories are living in Hawaii. And Christmas was fantastic, especially the year they got a brand new bike. I was able to take the bike and go outside and start riding right away.
Banana seat?
Banana seat, yellow. Had the chopper handlebars. Yeah, it was a thing of beauty. And what? It was. I was cool. That was the style then. And what?
So you peaked in coolness when you were what, 5, 6 years old?
Something like that. Yeah. And the great thing about getting a bike was that was your first real taste of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you had that bike, you could go anywhere. And the great thing for us is we lived on a closed post.
Yeah.
So my folks could let us go and didn't really have to worry about us a whole lot. And that was terrific. I really enjoyed those Christmases as opposed to the first one after Hawaii. And no offense to anybody from Oklahoma, if you happen to be watching this, but we went from Honolulu, Hawaii to Lawton, Oklahoma. I think even folks from Lawton, Oklahoma would agree that Honolulu, Hawaii is better. It's just a nicer place.
Oh.
And that winter was insanely cold, and I didn't go outside. And that was the year that I plumped up very nicely, because with Oklahoma, there's only 2 seasons, winter and summer. It seems like it just goes straight from one to the other. And in the summer, it's so miserably hot, you can't stand to be outside. And in the winter, it's so miserably cold that you can't stand to be outside. And that was later confirmed to me as an adult when I had to go back there for Army training, military training. And it's exactly what happened. We went from, when I got there, it was hot, it was sticky, it was awful, to bam, it turned cold, and we were down to like 8 degrees. We went from 80 degrees, I kid you not, 80 degrees to 2 days later, 8 degrees. It was awful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are the Christmases past that you remember.
Yes, those are my early ones. Yes.
Yeah. For me, one of the biggest memories that I have of Christmas is we were living with my grandparents. These were my mother's parents, and my papa was actively involved in politics. He had been a city council member. He had been a building inspector. He was a fireman for years. That's how I met my grandmother. And so he had worked in government, and he got to know a lot of people. And so every year, my grandparents on Christmas Eve would host this massive party. It was an open house. It would start around 6 o'clock in the evening, and it would go. I don't know that it ever ended, except for when I would get up and Santa Claus had been there. So think like 7 in the morning. Okay. So this was a massive party that people would come in and out of. It was an open house, tons of food, tons of drinks, lots of fun. There would be a brief pause around 11-ish at night for everybody to go to church and go to midnight mass, and then come back, and the party would resume. During that time, my grandmother would run around frantically refilling food and cooking some more. And just, it was crazy. But this year that we were living with them, we lived with them for a few years. This one Christmas that we were there, there was a knock on the door, probably about 7:30, 8 o'clock or so, and in walks Santa Claus. And he's there to see me. And I was just like, ooh, this is kind of cool. And so I'm talking with Santa Claus, and about 5-10 minutes later, as Santa Claus is sipping on a cool, refreshing beverage before he heads back out, there's another knock on the door. And guess who it was?
Santa Claus?
It was Santa Claus. There was a second Santa Claus who showed up at the exact same time as the first Santa Claus. How surprised do you think they were?
They were probably both fairly surprised.
I think they were probably very surprised. Yeah, I think everybody was surprised. I, on the other hand, was just like, ooh, 2 Santa Clauses in one night. Dad, this is good. Double the presents. So quickly, somebody had to become Santa's helper and tell him, Santa, come on, we gotta get out here. They were both friends of my grandfather, who had thought, oh, here's a good way to get in with him. We'll stop by as Santa Claus and give his favorite granddaughter something, and off we go. And that did not work. So very interesting. But yeah, that's one of my biggest memories of Christmas past. This year's a very quiet Christmas, and this year we got an update for you on Molly. Last Monday afternoon.
Yeah, it's been a week.
Yep. The good news is bandages came off.
Yeah, bandages, casts, everything's
off.
She's using the leg.
Yep. The doctor said she's doing very well. So she still has one more week of not being able to do anything and everything. She still can't run. She still can't jump. She still can't go upstairs at this point. She's not allowed to go to the off-leash park yet. She's got another week before she can do any of that. And then she's back to normal. So the good news is this Christmas, yeah, we're still having to keep an eye on her, but she is doing very well.
Yes, yeah, she's doing well.
Yeah. And so we're very happy. And the stuff that I think Santa left in her stocking is indicative of her immobility and not being able to get around and do stuff. Yeah. We don't know. We haven't opened up stuff.
Actually, she can get around and do the stuff. She's just not
She's
supposed
not
to.
And she doesn't know that.
Yeah, she didn't know it.
So that's the downside. Which brings us to this coming week. We were talking with Jenna Armato last Friday, and asked her, what do you do the week in between Christmas and New Year's? Because if you're a business owner, if you work in any type of environment where you're trying to accomplish something and you need the help of other people, this is not a good week.
No, most of them are taking this week off.
This is a week where a lot of people are going to be off. You're going to find, and Betty and I, Betty Novak, she and I do Coffee with Two Coaches. We had talked about how do you approve Christmas leave and how do you approve vacations and stuff this time of year. But this is a time of year where a lot of people take off. And as a result, it can be very difficult to get anything done. So what do you do? Especially if you have to work this week, what do you do? And one of the things that Jenna talked about with us is she uses this week to strategize.
Yep.
She uses this week to come up with plans for next year. She uses this week to start to get ahead for the coming year. And we were talking about that because one of the things that we have to do this week is record.
Yes.
We've got a lot of recordings we need to do for the online courses that we have. And so that's going to be a big chunk of this coming week. We'd love to hear what some of you are going to do this week. We'd also love to hear some of your favorite Christmas memories, because I think some of them would be really cool.
Can I tell you another favorite Christmas memory?
Of course.
Yeah, this was one from when we first moved to Germany. I was in 5th grade, I think.
Okay.
Fourth grade. I was in 4th grade. So that was the move after Oklahoma. We were living in a small German town because since we had just arrived, we did not, we had to go on the list for on-post housing. And that's a rather long list. It takes a while. Some places where we were, it did. And so we were living in this little German town, and they had a big event there close by where Santa Claus, Kris Kringle, was going to be throwing out candy, and they're going to have the whole parade and everything in Germantown. But they decided to do something interesting, apparently, and had Santa parachute in to the event. It was interesting because apparently it wasn't a good day for them to do that. There was a little more wind. They should have canceled that portion of the program, but they didn't. And so Santa parachuted in and got stuck in a tree. And so, yes, and so they had to, take their fire truck over and rescue Santa out of the tree. And apparently Santa was not very happy about this, because Santa wasn't sort of tossing candy out to the kids. He was more like throwing and turning the candy into projectiles, and we got whacked with some of the candy that he was hurling, and it was hard candy too. So, well, the Germans, they got a lot of hard candy.
They do have a lot of hard candy.
A lot of hard candy, and so he was basically hurling this candy at the kids. I still remember that. I thought it was very funny, but
by then,
yeah.
Well, let's see. Tina was just a little thing at that point.
Yeah, she was tiny. She was because I guess at that point, I don't know, she would have been, because she was born in Oklahoma, so she was still a baby. And Beth was still very little.
Yeah.
She'd have been about 3, maybe. So I don't know, a long time ago.
Yep.
So Sam would have probably been the only one that really been aware of what was going on. And then I was aware, obviously, and like I said, I found the whole thing to be kind of funny. But then again, I've had a warped sense of humor since pretty early on.
What was one of, obviously the bicycle that you got, that was one of the biggest memorable gifts that you ever got. What was one of the worst gifts you ever got?
Oh boy, I don't know. I don't really remember the bad gifts. I mean, obviously getting socks and underwear and clothes and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to get that for Christmas.
I will never forget. There was one Christmas, we were in Savannah, and my cousin Kathy had come to visit before I met you, and she had brought all these presents for Jeffrey, and I mean it's just box after box after box, and he's frantically unwrapping them, and he'd pull out a shirt and just throw it behind him, and then frantically unwrap the next one and pull out a pair of pants and throw it behind him.
No interest in that at all.
Where's the good stuff?
Where's the good stuff? Yep. Yeah, clothes. I realize it's a necessity for a lot of families to do that, but the kids don't find that very exciting. So, yeah, and I don't remember any that were particularly bad. Where I just went, this is awful. I don't want this. No, I do. There is one. I think you got it for me, and it was the little elf. Yes.
Hysterical.
No, it wasn't. It was.
Oh my God,
stupid.
I love that.
It was this little elf
It was like
candy
a Pez
dispenser. Yes.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
Hysterical.
It was an elf sitting on a toilet, and it pooped out jelly beans.
Yep. Hysterical.
That was the worst Christmas gift I've ever received.
Oh my God, that was hysterical.
A jelly bean pooping elf.
That was good.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one I remember. Yes, and you got it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I often find the humor in nearly everything. I didn't find the humor
I
in
thought
that.
it was hysterical. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Well, one, I don't like jelly beans to begin
You
with.
do like jelly beans.
I like Jelly Belly jelly beans.
Yeah.
These weren't Jelly Bellies.
And somebody says that I'm picky.
I'm only picky on jelly beans.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Person who just like that. Okay. So feel free to let us know, some of your favorite Christmas memories, some of the best presents you ever got, the worst presents you ever got. What you're planning to do this week, because we'd love to hear what some people are going to do. A lot of people, like you said, are taking off this week, so you're not going to get much done. You're going to spend time with your family and friends, and that's always important.
Business owners, it's a good week to plan, good week to get everything together and hit the ground running.
If you're in sales, this is a very odd week because you will have some companies that are looking at their financials and are just like, we need to spend more money so that we can decrease this net profit and not pay as many taxes. And so some companies will go on a spending spree this week. You found that out when you were doing copier sales.
Yes.
Yeah. There are some companies out there that'll spend a whole lot of money.
Yep, they're ready to buy a copier in December.
Yeah. I know one of our friends, and she's been on here before. She's going to be on here next month, Katarina Rando. Right now she's looking and she's just like, all right, when it comes to going on retreats, when it comes to buying different things to give away and stuff, what can I pay for now and lower that tax expense as opposed to pay that money out next month. So there are companies out there that do that. So if you're in sales, take advantage of that. If you're not, if you're an accounting person, this is the time of year where you're telling all of your customers, hey, get things together, get organized. Don't bring me a paper bag full of numbers, because that's what people will do.
They will do it.
Yeah, I know. So use this time wisely. Use it to get things together. Use it to plan for next year. Use it to wrap things up for this year. You still got a week.
And take a couple days to catch your breath.
Yep, you can get things done. So it's going to be a good week. All right, that's it for us. We hope all of you have a very Merry Christmas. We will see you next week for New Year's. Somebody did get whammed, by the way. If any of you are playing Whamageddon, one of us got whammed and one of us did not.
Well, from the smug look on her face, you can tell she was the one who didn't. And for me, I heard 3 seconds of the song when I was watching TV, because it was a show where they were coming out of commercial, and there it was.
Bumper music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got me.
And the worst part is I was here in our kitchen baking Christmas cookies with Christmas music on, and he was popping up here about, every 10 minutes. Aren't you better watch out. You're gonna
get whammed.
It's gonna pop up and you're not gonna be able to get out of it. Yeah.
Nope, didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
Well, I didn't even realize we were playing this game until you told me about it, about a week into the month.
And,
it's like,
the reality is it starts December 1st, it ends, midnight last night.
Right. And
we did well. We did really well.
Yeah.
It was this past Wednesday that you got hit.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't hear it. I heard lots of other versions of it.
And I kept waiting, because when we would go into a store, when, you get in the car and turn on and the radio pops on, I kept thinking, all right, one of these, at some point in time, it's going to be there. And
I think what it is, there's so many versions of the song now that
that protects
stations don't have to play the original version, so you don't have to hear Wham singing a song.
No idea what Whamageddon is. It's this game that you play between December 1st through December 24th, where you have to avoid Wham's version of Last Christmas.
Yeah,
the
original version of that particular song.
If you hear it, you're out. You gotta go on social media and post.
Yeah, the song that some of us have listened to the lyrics and thought, I don't even know what that means.
Stupid song.
Yeah, so.
I avoided it. He tried to get me last night, when you were watching the list.
Oh, I could have easily gotten you, because you weren't aware of it. So yes, it was Top 10 is the name of the show, and they were doing top 10 80s Christmas songs. And I could have waited until I knew, because it was going to be number 1.
It is.
And so I could have waited until 9 or 7:55 and popped it over there. Gotcha. But I was nice. I played nice, and I didn't get you on purpose.
There was somebody who was in an arena with a bunch of people at a sporting event, and there were about 7,000 people there, and he played Wham on purpose to get them all out. So.
But it's not a competition game, so yeah. Yeah, it's not a winner take all.
But it's fun.
But yeah. It's interesting to see if you can avoid that song for 25 days.
Amazing.
24 days, I guess, because it actually ends at midnight.
I made it. So starts up again next year, December 1st. Keep that in mind, everybody. All right, we will see you next week. Have a fabulous week. Merry Christmas, everyone. Feel free to reach out to us if you need to. We'll still answer the phone this week.
Yeah.
We'll still answer emails, so you can email us info@ateagueofyourown.com. Give us a call, text us 412-420-7975. Let us know what we can do to help you. All right. Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.